Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing your Fear the Walking Dead video for today for Season 3. In this one, we're going to be giving our thoughts on how long would we want Fear the Walking Dead to last. And spoiler warning as usual, if you guys are not caught up for Fear the Walking Dead, which is up to Season 3, Episode 5, with Episode 6 airing tomorrow night. So I wanted to do a Fear the Walking Dead video for today for you guys, and I thought this would be a good topic to start with, which is how long do we want to see Fear the Walking Dead last? So how many seasons overall should the series be? How many more seasons can we see it going? Just in general, how long would we want for Fear the Walking Dead to last? So you guys can definitely weigh in on this one and write your comments below on how many seasons you would want Fear the Walking Dead to be. I'm sure people who just don't like the show are going to be like, I don't care if it gets canceled right now because they just don't like it at all. So that's cool. For me personally though, I do like Fear the Walking Dead. I like Fear the Walking Dead a lot, and I've been enjoying making the videos with you guys, doing the reviews and everything we've been doing. It's really been great this summer to have Fear the Walking Dead on, and I've just been enjoying it even more than ever with the third season so far, I want to say, because it's just been such a surprising and excellent season. So how many more seasons do I think it can last for, and how do we see this going? Well, the original Walking Dead TV series is through 7 seasons, so we're getting into Season 8 at this point. With, I do feel like there has been a drop this year in particular. Now, it could be because of the bottle episodes. There's a lot of reasons. We've done lots of videos this year talking about Season 7 and kind of a little bit of the drop in ratings and that kind of thing. And a lot of people just attribute it to the length the series has been on for, the fact it's not new anymore. Maybe a lot of people don't like Negan, or the premiere turned them off because it was so brutal. Whatever the case may be, I think, there could be a number of different reasons why people decide to, to turn off that kind of thing. For Fear the Walking Dead, right now Fear the Walking Dead is at about 2.5 million viewers per episode, which for the summertime, I mean, it's a weird time of the year right now. There certainly are not a lot of hit series on right now. So 2.5 million during the summer. I'm not sure how that stands for AMC with regards to how much they have to put into the show, how hard it is to make, and whether or not that's enough to keep it going. We know it's been renewed for a 4th season, and I'm happy to hear that. So we at least know it's going to go through Season 4. After that, I mean, Season 5, if we look where the original Walking Dead was at, it was still really hot. Season 5, Season 6, and then Season 7 a little bit. So, with Fear the Walking Dead, I think if we got to this point, if we got to maybe like an 8th season or 7th season, it's hard to say. I mean, because of course it's so many years out right now to when they'd probably be looking at wrapping it up if it's just not working. But to be honest, with what they've done this season so far and kind of the response that it's gotten, probably not being what it should be for some of the deaths that they've had and some of the things that they've done already. I am kind of surprised that it hasn't gotten more of a buzz, but then again, The Walking Dead has been done before, so a lot of the concepts in Fear have been done before. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm thinking probably like Season 7 might be it for Fear. Like if Fear can get to that point, that'd be great. I know there's probably going to be a lot of you guys saying Trevor's not going to get 7 seasons. And that's cool if you think it's going to get to less. I'm just thinking, like, I'm looking at the original series and I'm looking at Fear and I'm thinking, a few more years, right? Like maybe 3 or 4 more years after this year. And then that would probably be it, I would think. I don't know if you're going to get 10 seasons out of Fear the Walking Dead. Based on the start that we've had so far for Fear, I kind of look at it, I'm like, I don't think this show can last for 10 seasons. I don't think that the audience is going to want to be into it for 10 seasons. The original Walking Dead, yeah, sure, it'll get 10 seasons. It's going to the 8th season right now. But with Fear the Walking Dead having so much trouble already, I feel like, and the ratings kind of being very inconsistent and pretty low for, The Walking Dead compared to the original series in that, I'm just thinking like maybe around something like that, maybe 7 seasons, and we'll have to see where they go with the story and what they do with the characters. But maybe that makes sense for Fear, and then you might want to wrap it up at that point. But you guys, write your comments below. Let me know what you guys think on how many seasons should Fear the Walking Dead be. How many would you want to see without getting too long in the tooth? and maybe, you know, what kind of differences would you like to see between it and the original Walking Dead. So write those comments. I want to see them. Clorax Bleach says, let's be honest, Travis was the Rick Grimes of the series. So, you know, and that's one thing I've seen, and some people also saying, like Teddy Zupa says, Travis had to leave, Trev. You know that, man. Come on. Or he's pretty much saying, like, you know that, or you should already know that. I did videos on a bunch of the interviews in and around the Travis death with Dave Erickson and some of the producers and that kind of stuff. And, you know, I did videos letting you guys know what they said in the interviews and what we could kind of derive from that. It sounds like from those interviews and what they were saying. Now, it could just be damage control. You know, I mean, we don't know for sure. Maybe Cliff Curtis did get cast for Avatar before he was killed off of Fear. But from what they were saying and the time that it would have been written, it looks more like, definitely they said that they planned to kill him off earlier, and that was just kind of the direction that the writing went because of what it would do for the other characters and the kind of the story overall. Also, confirmation from Gail Ann Hurd that Kim Dickens' character Madison is #1. So Travis was never #1, if that's true. Now, again, you gotta think of it like, okay, should we listen to what they say, or is it just kind of like something they're saying now because they had to kill him off? You know, again, you guys can write your comments below, but everything I've seen in and around the show about it sounds to me like they did intend to kill Travis off, and then he was cast in Avatar afterwards. But that's my interpretation of it as an outside party. Of course, I'm not, you know, involved with production of the series, and I don't know, you know, from that kind of a standpoint, which happened first, or was it chicken or the egg, or, you know, did he get a part and then they killed him off because he had a big part coming and they were like, okay, we got to shift direction? Or was it always Madison? From what I've seen and heard from people, you know, in interviews for the show, it's always been Madison from day one. But, yeah, I hear what you guys are saying, that you like Travis more as a lead than Madison, and I saw that a lot in the video I did the other day, and you guys had left a lot of comments in that one about Madison being a lead, and just, you know, generally a lot of people just not buying it and thinking that Travis would have been a lot better lead. The next one was from Jason Cope, who says, Q&A Trev, honestly, I think the story would be so much better if they killed Madison instead of Travis. Travis wasn't able to keep his own family alive, so that fact, coupled with Madison being gone, would make Travis feel obligated to protect Nick and Alicia. Would have made for a better story while keeping the way better character Travis in the story. Thoughts? So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people with this right now, and I have said to you guys before, last season, especially season 2 finale, that Travis was my favorite character at that time. You know, he was my favorite character in Fear. Even still, he's my favorite character in Fear they've had so far. So, you know, now of course other characters are going to have a lot more time in the future. You know, Nick could be really cool in the future and see what they do with him. But it is maybe a travesty that, oh no, that's terrible, that he's killed off, you know, because now we don't have, like, you know, that kind of strong male lead character. We've got, you know, Madison instead, which is different, certainly different, but I just don't know how that's going to affect the health of the show over the long run, and if people are really going to get into it when you have kind of a strong female lead instead of a male, which is kind of like more, for an audience that's primarily male, you probably want to go with a male lead if you want the show to last a long time. Now, for the SJWs, you know, I'm not saying that it can't work as having a female lead. I'm just basically saying, because I think it's a good idea to have something really different from what you had in The Walking Dead with Rick Grimes. Maybe to have Madison, this one is a cool kind of switch, because I really like Kim Dickens too, as I said before. So she's really good at playing a badass character. She's done so in, you know, Gone Girl and some other stuff she's been in. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, a lot of people really would have wanted to see Travis, I think, is the takeaway from this, from what I'm seeing as feedback anyway. Even though I do think it's risky and kind of crazy to go with Madison, and I'm intrigued by that, but at the same time, yeah. That's what it is. It probably would have been a safer route to go with Travis, but either way, it probably wouldn't happen due to Avatar. Storm Shadow says, Q&A, why is Nick on the poster or thumbnail for Fear the Walking Dead if he isn't the lead, I think he should be. And that's very true as well. Nick is one of the ones who's most primarily on the posters and on the, he almost is like your front man for it, even though, you have Madison, which is where I think a lot of people think it's more of like an ensemble type of a cast rather than having one lead character stand out. You kind of have kind of more attention kind of spread out, like something like Game of Thrones or something, where you don't really have that A-list at the front. You have a whole bunch of different characters on the same kind of playing field or close to the same position. But you're right. I think it's because, like with Nick, he's kind of like a Daryl in that way, where he looks really good for the action shots and that. And if they're trying to sell it with a poster or something, they're probably going to use Nick for that. They're probably not going to use Madison for it because it just doesn't really look the same. But we'll see in the future, maybe in season 4 or something, if they start to do that more as she becomes kind of more badass and more unhinged. Lean says, "Hey Trev, how's it going? Q&A. What do you think of Nick being a junkie but never needing a fix? The writing seems inconsistent. They could do great and interesting scenes with that. Love your channel and greetings from the other side of the continent, Argentina." Okay, well, thanks, Lean from Argentina, the continent, but okay, it's cool. But yeah, with Nick being a junkie, they've kind of shifted away from that. I kind of look at it as once a zombie apocalypse has happened and there's all this stuff going on around him, I feel like his life is so crazy, it's probably stimulating enough for him to just want to survive and have to do what he has to do to kind of maybe move off from that. Like now I'm not a junkie myself, but I'm thinking that a lot of people who probably get into that or get addicted to stuff, a lot of times it can be to deal with maybe guilt or things like that and not feeling good about their lives and that kind of thing. But a lot of times it can be being disengaged, I think, too. If people are kind of disengaged, they're not enjoying their life, they don't feel passionate about anything, maybe they're just kind of like bored, you might see them, drinking a lot, way too much, doing drugs, that kind of stuff. And when you're really engaged and you're fighting for something you believe in, which could be your survival, your family, things like that, you're really into it. You kind of have tunnel vision. You're probably not looking to go into that other stuff that you could if you were kind of just simply bored or feeling like things aren't working out, and to deal with the pain, you want to have a fix. So that's kind of the way I read it, is that it's kind of something for the character that it might resurface, but he's had Luciana, he's had all this other stuff going on, and the zombies everywhere, the whisper mode he goes into. So he's had other ways, I think, to cope with the stuff that's going on, and it's not like it'd be that easy for him to get a fix, even though I think in season 2 there was some of that kind of stuff going on with drugs and things like that. So we don't know how long he's been clean for, anything in particular, as far as that goes. But I just think it's being more engaged. So for him, it might actually help him with his own survival to have something like that, because in the real world, he may have just OD'd at some point. Squeaky Squirrel says, "I'm loving the season of Fear so far. I'm starting to finally like Madison. Tonight's episode was jam-packed. I'm so excited for next week's episode, so that's a cool one." So Madison's growing on some viewers, so that's good to hear. Sam Goodfield says, "Fear the Walking Dead is way better than The Walking Dead." There, I said it. I don't see that type of comment too often. But there are some people like Fear better than The Walking Dead. I saw one article, I forget whether it was Forbes or something like that, where it said Walking Dead is about superheroes or like superhero comic type characters, and Fear the Walking Dead is more about like people, more realistic people. Which is kind of a cool comparison. I've seen quite a few articles like that online. Kirby Freeman says, "Red dirt means there's going to be blood." And then the last one will be from the Big Bang Theory Sheldor says, "Trev, do you think the ranch will still be standing in Fear the Walking Dead Season 3 second half? Or will we be back on the road again after everything that'll go down in the mid-season finale?" So I do think that it will still be standing, and I do think that the storyline is going to continue past the mid-season finale. I'm not sure what they're going to do for the mid-season finale, but I don't think they're going to be leaving the ranch that quickly so far. And I'm okay with it, because I've really been enjoying it. The ranch doesn't feel stale or anything like that. Fear the Walking Dead has been really crazy fast-paced, but I don't think you need to blow right by the ranch. There's enough interesting stuff going on with the villains there and everything else. And then, of course, you got Strand and Daniel who are in another spot. So I haven't gotten tired of the ranch yet at all or anything like that. I've been enjoying it so far. That'll be it for today's Q&A, guys. You can send me some more questions for one more tomorrow before episode 6. If you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe, you can subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys again soon for another. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. I'll see you soon.